light together. Alright, so I want to talk about accomplishing things against all odds. In life, there's not going to always be a supporting cast. It's not going to always be a group of people that are going to have your back or be in your corner, be a part of your support club, your fan base or whatever. But you're going to have to know in life that you're going to have to, if you really, really want something, you're going to have to do it without support a lot of times. A lot of people don't jump on the bandwagon until you reach success. So I'll give you for example. I trained myself to be an audio engineer in my teenage years to my early 20s. We would record little rap albums, and of course, we thought we were the hottest. And to be honest, looking back, it was pretty decent work. Do I have the talent? Did I have the talent to be signed to a record label? Absolutely, I did. But nobody listened to my record. Nobody. I've probably put out about 5 or 6 albums that I've made myself, and I'd be so proud of my work, and I'd send them to friends and family members, and to this day, I like 5 albums. My whole family. If I were to go to any of them and say, "Hey, name 3 of my songs," I'm pretty confident that nobody would be able to name any of them. Maybe one, But it was something that I did because it was fun. I enjoyed it, and it was for me, and the support wasn't there. Just to cite another quick example, when I was in high school, I played football for 4 years. Well, 3 out of the 4 years there, and not one single person came to a game. Not a family member, not a parent, nobody. Do I think I had the talent? Yeah, I had decent talent. Do I think I had talent to play in the pros? Doesn't really matter. But the point is, I continued out my high school year playing football. And, it was tough every time I saw a kid's parent cheer for them, or, a kid got a ride home from school and I was on the bus stop waiting for the bus. All of that was tough. But I had a goal. I wanted to do those things, and I wanted to be successful. And I was. And I learned a valuable lesson early on in life. It was that there's not always going to be a support club. Now, you could take one or two roads. You could use that as an excuse not to succeed. I didn't have support. Nobody helped me along the way. Or you can use that as a tool, as motivation, as drive to pursue your goals in spite of, against all odds. Because that's the truth in life. People usually don't hop on the bandwagon until you're successful. I did the same type of raps that Drake is doing now. 10, 15 years ago. 15 years earlier. But all it would have taken is one of those songs to impress some executive, sign me to a label, and everybody would have been on the bandwagon. But that's usually how folks are. They don't jump on the bandwagon until you're successful. So what do we learn from this? Okay, support. Support people. Not when they make it, but support them while they're on the journey. Because that's when they need you the most. When they make it, they're going to remember. So don't do unto others as they have done unto you. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's the golden rule. Support those. So now with my kids, I try to make every single game. A family member tell me they have an event, I try to make those. I honestly try to make everything that I can make. If I don't make it, it's because there was either a conflicting thing, or I just simply needed rest. You know, everybody has hectic schedules. There's no way you're going to make 100% of everything, but it's really important to support those. It's valuable to their success. Lots of folks would be further along if they did have that support, but don't use that as an excuse. If you want success in life, you've got to want it more than water. You got to want it more than sleep. You got to want it more than the air you breathe. You have to have an obsession. You got to have an obsession with that goal. Now, you're not putting that before God, but you have to have an obsession. You have to be extremely driven, because those obstacles are going to be there. You're going to hear no a lot more than you're going to hear yes. You're going to have the door slammed in your face more times than it's opened. But it's a game. It's a game of numbers. You know, if you go out and shoot 100 jump shots, I guarantee you one of them is going to go in. And that's all you need is one. If your goal is making a jumper, if your goal is being an actress and getting a movie role, you set your goals. You say, hey, I'm going to apply for 100 auditions this year. And I guarantee you, at some point, somebody's going to say yes. It's just ratios. Somebody is going to say yes. When I was in college and I was applying for scholarships, I didn't have any money. You know, whatever FAFSA didn't give me, a couple of $100 from the state Pell Grant was all I really got. I did make that my goal. I sent out 100 letters. I got the stamps. I got the envelopes. I wrote 100 letters. Well, I wrote one letter, and I sent it out to 100 folks saying, hey, this is me. This is who I am. I'm seeking your scholarship. I found out what the prerequisites were for those scholarships, and everybody didn't tell me no. I actually sent out 100. I got 2 scholarships that year. But if I didn't send out any, I would have got 0 scholarships. You know, and I got a couple $1,000s from those 2, and it was what I needed. So that's the lesson that I want to put out today, is persistence pays off. If you're looking for success, you have to be persistent. That's why we see unattractive guys with attractive women. That's why we see unattractive women with attractive guys. You know, that's one part of the reason. You know, if you're persistent, it will pay off. Now, it may not last, but if you're persistent, if you ask a girl on a date 72 times, you know, she might not like you. You know, she might say, no, stop asking me, get out of my face. Well, nowadays you got to be careful, because you may get a harassment charge. You know, we're in an age where, you know, everybody's getting charged with sexual inappropriateness. So that's a poor example. But the point is that persistence does pay off. You have to be vigilant about what you want. Know what you want, and be specific. Be specific. Don't say, God, I want a house. You say, God, I want a house with 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms and a big yard and a rec room, and you put it all out there. The Bible says, make your requests known. Furthermore, it says, we have not because we ask not. When I was living outside of Maryland, I said, Lord, when I come back to Maryland, I want a house. I wanted to have a big yard. I wanted to have X amount of rooms. And I was single. I was single at the time. But I knew that I'd have a family, and I would fill all that space up. Now we fighting for space. Persistence pays off. If it's raining, I'm training. If it's snowing, I'm going. If it's hailing, I'm not bailing. Y'all be good to each other.